Okay, so we're going to try this again here. Okay, so now let's see here. All right, I think we may be in business here. All right, so now I think we're in business. I'm doing good, Titan. This was basically a kind of a test here to see if I could get this to work or not, though, and seems like I may have lost the video. No? Okay. Well, the video's still here. Apparently my screen is stuck refreshing over on my tablet, though. So, okay. Yeah, so I had to practice with the rotation part, though, so that it would actually be right, though. Why am I showing my... There we go. Okay. This is basically going to take just a little adjustment here, getting used to using this, though. So, yeah, so there I can see what basically some of those who have done the live videos talk about being a delay, though, in the video that they're streaming versus what they're what everyone's seeing, though, because I've got that up on my end. So we're going to, I've got some Homeland cards here that we're going to file, though. We just have to find, all right, I know they're not in this particular binder, because that's basically Ice Age and Mirage. And see here, so one of these two, oh, here we go, Homelands. All right, now we're going to take out our sheet, though, or basically I should say sheets, though, and I may need to zoom in. I don't know if you guys can see, but we're basically going, all right, so red is not what we want. We want artifacts, and that's alliances, so that's not going to be going in here. That's alliances. These are effect. All right, so another Homelands. Oh, that's Mirage, and I just put the book away, or off to the side. That's another Mirage. That is going to be Tempest, so that's going to be aside. Okay. Nah. Got some other ones over here as well, though. Those are not ones we're looking for either. This is, of course, blue, black, artifact. So I've got them sorted, though, by color, though, in the sheet, though, checklist. Yeah, this is some of the older stuff, though, that basically that I've been working on sets of, though. Completed out my Fallen Empire set, though, so I've been working on the Homelands and Tempest, Ice Age, though, And so I decided basically this would be a good opportunity to do a little test run with a live stream though before I do something a little more ambitious though. Namely, probably like do a live stream with basically some packs out of the set booster of Baldur's Gate though. But more importantly, what I really want to do is basically I'll do an opening of some Rivals of Ixalan as a live stream. Because, yeah, I think that'll be fun though. And, excuse me. And I'm trying to come up with some new ways to basically do some videos though, because I've got plenty to basically go basically back with though. So doing something a little different here, have a little fun. Of course. Yeah, well, you know, we're going to be going, you know, we got basically, what is it? We got Ixalan coming up toward the end of the year, I think, the cave Ixalan, so I figured that it'd be kind of fun to go ahead and do a little Ixalan now before then. And then I've got some more coming though. Yeah, so well, that's good because what I am doing, recording or running the video on, is my new phone that I picked up. I traded out my old iPhone 11 for an iPhone 14 Plus. I got a basically kind of a bargain on it though. Basically, the carrier was offering the opportunity to do a trade-in though, and with my trade-in, it ended up being like the basically like extra $3 a month though. So, you know, basically a brand new phone for on a trade-in for costing me an extra $3 a month though. Couldn't pass that up. But I also have managed to pick up a bunch of Homeland cards that'll be coming though to help fill in more spots though. And I have a bunch though. There might be a duplication or two, but that being said, one of the things that I will note though is that basically having nothing wrong with having duplication though, because you can always look at it as the opportunity to replace one of your cards though with a better copy of it though, if needed though, and that is something that basically I really learned from when my dad was when he collected a few baseball cards over the basically over the years though. He did what he would look at doing was basically picking up the baseball cards though or basically a specific one though, where he would basically pick it up though and then look at trying to trade it out or get a better copy though. I used to be an Android fan though. I used to have basically a kind of a really despise of basically Apple and the iPhone so back in the day. However, as basically they progressed and as opportunities came up though, I decided that well, you know, you can't pass up a good deal. All right, so we got, this is Ashan's Shade. Now, some people will, of course, we have those, they're sorted based upon basically alphabetical order or color order, though. Basically, and so one of the things that you'll that basically you'll find is that, of course, in this case, mine are sorted by this printout though of a list that I got, that I found though, that I was able to print off though, and so in that choice of choosing to print them out though, they're in a basically a different order than one might put them in. However, that being said, it works though, because it means that at least I can put them in the order, and I've got the nice checklist though, so I know what I'm missing and what I need, which you know, is all that I've basically, you know, need. The list though, like this checklist though, I just found it by doing a search though for basically the set that you're looking for though, and then I found basically a web doc or a PDF version. I think it was PDF, I think. So then I used that to print it off though, and since someone did the effort of basically putting the cards in, and so far I haven't found any basically missing cards yet though, from this though, that I'm, you know, I will be quite happy with that though. In fact, I think down at the bottom here you'll see the basically the site that I got it from this, so I don't know how well that's gonna come out though on the view there, but if it does, and you can always pause it though, you can use that basically for searching on how I found it though. Yeah. Oh, you mean what? Yeah. Well, you know, there was I did a box opening of a bundle of Rivals of Ixalan though, and the basically they had the card though, the insert though. Yeah, it was nice when they had that checklist though. I mean, if they really are hard pressed to do that though in that full color sheet, they could do it as a basically as a token card though, or basically such, basically to do that though. So yeah, I will also note, I don't have it right now, but one of the things that you'll see in my, yeah, I'll see about getting a screenshot here for you and putting that up though, or putting the, actually I may just put the link in one of my, in the web video or the video when it goes basically live, probably tomorrow though, or the next day. I'll have it down there. But also in my videos you'll see a link to, I've launched an Etsy store, and I'll have some stuff in there though. But the other thing I'm going to order though, gotta wait until I can order it though, but I'm going to get one of my playmats that I've got a logo that I put on. I'm going to show off as well. So we need blue here, and basically I also figured that when I was looking at the time and everything, well, yeah, I mean, if they did a basically, like I said, you know, you did a basically, you know, do a bunch, to basically use the cards, put a checklist on the cards though. Make, basically as a way to include though. I mean, they were, you know, basically you could essentially do something like a blank card and then have the checklist on the back, or basically just put the card though with the checklist. Either way, and then you'd put the checklist in the binder as well. That would basically allow you to mark it off though. There are any number of ways they could do it though, and if they want to do it on the cheap though, I'm pretty sure that Hasbro or WotC could do it quite effectively and on the cheap though, without basically costing them anything though. I mean, if they really want to get cheap though, they could basically put a basically you could have a chase card if you really want to do it. Be funny, but put a card though that has a one of those basically I can't think of the name though, but it basically has a bunch of squiggles and lines and stuff though, so that you have to use your phone or something to basically take or read it though, and then it takes you to a PDF doc. Oh yeah, black and white though. There doesn't have to be any color. I mean, all you're doing at that point is you're basically just wanting a checklist. So I mean, I don't know if they still do it with the baseball cards anymore though, or football, but they used to include checklists though at the tail end of the deck though, or just to basically for people who wanted to collect. Right. So set the green aside because we don't need that right now. The other thing that I've kind of done though is, and I did this with each of these as I've built these basically collections, or basically and such, is that to basically kind of try and lay out the basically the spacing though for the cards, so that way when I go to put them in though, basically I can have the space I need that's already there and empty. I did that even more so with the with doing my set on basically the what was it? That was basically the basically Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow, the basically the screen foil type. Man, why can't I think of that set though? I just threw the. Hey, hold on. I think I know. Give me 1 second here, because I have. Yep, that's it. Innistrad, the double feature though. I actually have a couple of books running around though. They're around here though. I don't remember where I set them. I know they're around here though, but they've got like all of them put in there, with the exception of I think a couple of cards that I still need to add though to complete that set for the Innistrad double feature though. Alright, so let's see here. So we need that one, Narwhal. And then we need Ravnica. Still have to get a wall of kelp for that. At least we can check those two off after Mystic Decree. And I guess while I'm at it here, though, I'll go ahead and, of course, mention that, you know, we're still on our quest for 100 subscribers, though. I've got a nice bunch of cards that I'll be giving away. We've got a couple of decks over here as well that I will be giving away. While I'm at it, let's take a quick trip here, though. I basically have, this is one of my land binders, though, that I have put a bunch of the lands in, and a number of the lands. Now there are a few that basically are not in here, though, and that's because you know, I'm not going to put basically the dual land or revised dual land in there by itself. Plateau, though, that has a case of its own, though, just like my foil shockwave that I got from Shattered Glass, though, courtesy of Clay, when he hit the Brothers War jackpot, though, over on Twiddles, or on the Twiddler place. Twiddler. So I've got a nice selection here of lands in here, though, for use, though. Not all of these are basically, there's a Blood Crypt, though, of course, little Cabal coffers. So yeah, I think it really will over time, though. It's going to definitely mature. I mean, it is so given the kind of the reception that they got, though, I don't see them going back to doing it, though, at least not for anytime soon. As a result, though, I think that over time, though, it basically will have a unique place, though, in the scheme of things. I kind of feel like that the double feature was what originally basically the going back to Innistrad was supposed to be, but they ran it, either they decided for whatever reason there was the time came, though, that they wanted to break the two sets out into Vow and Midnight Hunt, and clearly Midnight Hunt has the big chase card in the Meat Hook Massacre. Vow has definitely the more basically has a lot more average juice in it, though, at the top end. So but there are certainly some of those cards in the double feature, though, that will continue to grow, though. Got a little ancient tomb over here. So I saw that, I don't know if you guys saw, but Big Box Dave did a live stream earlier today, though, where he was doing some live, basically auction and charity, though. I was at work, though, so I didn't have the chance to join in, though. But I do have at the on my site, you'll probably see the link to Neil Trevino's GoFundMe page for at least a couple of videos or episodes, just as a chance to try to get it out there, though, in case someone wants to help out, though. Let's see here, though. So, yeah, see, there's a... I think I must have more than one of these, though, from Double Feature, though, of the Haunted Ridge. Yeah, basically, because there's one here, though, so I definitely have to have at least another copy in the complete book set. And then back here, though, I've got a couple of the, basically, at the end, I've got a couple of the cards in basically other languages. I don't know if I've got it in here. Maybe elsewhere, though. But I did pull... So let's go see if I can find it here again. Yeah, so this Blood Crypto, I actually pulled it in a basically out of a Dragon Maze pack, though. There's a video that I did where I pulled it out, though, and basically, of course, it's not in English, but it is like I mentioned when I open those up, though, land packs, though, or lands, even if they're not in your basically your language, though, your native language or language you understand, tap for basically black, tap for black mana, tap for red mana. There's not really, you know, the only thing that basically would become a problem, though, is if there's additional text or something that you have to translate, though. But then again, you know, you grab basically another card, or another basically you have an extra copy, though, whatever. But mana's easy enough. It's basically when you have to translate the rest of it, though. So we've got, finish up here, memory lapse. Basically, there are, so one of the things that depending on, thank you, depending on what you remember about some of the sets back in the day, they were like Homelands, though, and definitely Fallen Empires, though, but a lot of times you would have basically the same card with maybe 1, 2, 3, or in Fallen Empires, 4 copies or 4 different variants, though. And that's that basically is what I was working to finish with my Fallen Empires basically set, was finding and getting a couple of the last copies that I needed to fill in a couple of blanks, though, for those cards that had more than one existence. So this is Baruch's Curse. I missed that. That's back at the beginning here. I don't know how I missed that one, but I guess I did. So that will complete out that. And yeah, it is definitely easier to fill in or work on some of the older sets, though, that where you can pick up some of the basically essentially the more common or basic cards, though. I mean, even some of the more rarer cards can be had for a reasonable price. It's usually just some of those few ones that are the toughest to get there. So Reef Pirates, okay, good. Well, now we can. Now the fun part though is, of course, seeing where our green can fit in here, because I have not basically up until now had any green though to basically add. So and that will go right there. Fill in that one. Okay. And then we got a little mammoth here. And of course, I will say the other thing is when basically, so when I'm actually putting these together though, like one of the things that I'll take advantage of, I usually look at like TCG Player only because I can find basically a good lot of them. But like I'll take advantage of if somebody's got basically one specific or some card that I'm looking for though, I will go ahead and pick that up, and then from that point though, basically build on that there. So if they want, you know, hey, you spend $5, you know, you get free shipping. Okay, well, I'll basically look to see what they've got though. And if they have basically the essentially the number of cards that I'm looking for, a combination though of cards, then I'm more than happy to go ahead and spend you know, basically $5 with that seller though, if I think that I can basically pick up cards that I either want or that will fill in basically nicely with what I'm with a set though. I've passed on a few though, because well, somebody might have basically a card that I need. That's all they've got though, is that card. And while sure, I can basically save some money because I can get it for them for a few dollars though, or not dollars, a few pennies, nickels, whatever the case may be. It doesn't really help me if I'm only able to get that one card though. So we've got basically the Tempest here though. Now that's not good. So I mean, so, you know, now I have like I've found where maybe I will pick up the card though. So like, let's say that basically I found or picked up basically the Tempest card, or this card here, and that one. But let's say, but I may end up, you know, paying over or under for a card though. But only if there's an advantage. I mean, like, if I find that, hey, I need basically 60 cents, and the one card that they have though that I still didn't pick up that was 65 cents, but market price puts it at 40 cents. Now, at that point, I probably will just go ahead and give them the 60 cents though to get the free shipping, because I've got basically all the other cards that I need. It's one thing to bargain hunt though, So I try to, when I'm looking at it, my, so I'm looking for near mint, lightly played are my two preferred choices though. Lightly played is basically to me is kind of the sweet spot though if I can get it near mint. Sure. It also depends on the price difference though. So I've seen where they'll have copies up, and basically there might be a couple of penny difference though between basically near mint to lightly played to moderate played. Depending on that difference though, I will look at going ahead and going with the basically the light played though. If the basically if obviously if the only choice is moderate played, then I'll do that. The only time that I typically pass though is anything that is damaged, because even at unless you're offering me a City of Traders though, and the damage at a bargain basement price though, outside of that I'm generally going to pass on those at that point though. I'm not going to pay you, even at 25 cents I'm not going to pay for a damage card. I'd rather give you basically 55 cents or 50 cents though for a basically a better copy though, which I will come back to the one thing I noted earlier, and that is that when basically I'm looking at these as well, I'm also looking to see, okay, where can I, if I buy one card though, I guess the other thing is that means that if you buy a card that's basically in too rough a shape though, you're still gonna have to go buy a better copy of it anyway. So that's where that's why I will look to see what the options are before I actually commit though to buying any. Let's see here. So we got some gnomes. They must be on the second page though, because I don't see them on this page. If you see me pull my glasses off though, it's just because I really don't like reading through the bifocals at the bottom of my glasses though, at times, and it still doesn't do me good at times. I gotta go see the eye doctor here a couple of weeks though. They couldn't get me in until April though, so that's not too uncommon though. Okay, so math is hard. 1, 2, 3. And I will say that there have been times when I basically think I've counted right, and I will be wrong though. Hello, Richie. Good to see you. Titan's been hanging out here, keeping busy. Cosmic Seeds was here though. I haven't seen him chat anything recently, but I'm pretty sure he might still be here though. We're just talking some old school Magic though, checking on some bottle gnomes. So I guess the other thing I will say is that depending on the set though, so I don't know about one box, but two booster boxes. maybe you got to remember that I think they were only 8-pack cards, or 8 packs, or 8 cards to a pack. So in that instance, though, you might need more than one box, though. You probably need at least 2, and the thing about it is, though, that you might not get if you were just trying to get one copy of any of the copies, though. So you weren't trying to get all 4 copies of a particular card, though, that might have 4 copies. Then yeah, you certainly could do that, though. To get the whole set, no. Hey, I appreciate you stopping in, though. I just basically kind of I thought I'd do a little live stream, though, just to more or less kind of do a little test here, because I'm going to be doing some more. I'm actually going to do this a couple of times with these older sets, though, if I get the chance. Probably on Sunday evening to do a live stream, though. I definitely am going to do a live stream when I go to open up at least basically some of the packs out of the box of Rivals of Ixalan, if not basically the entire box, though. So, as you might be able to see on mine, I've got my phone up here, though, above me, and basically it's streaming, though, and then I've got my tablet, my Surface, though, with basically that I'm reading the comments on, though, and seeing the video from that view as well, though. Yeah, I wouldn't do Arena on mobile, at least not streaming wise. I got my Surface, though, at one point, and I decided, I needed I've used it for a couple of things, though, but I wasn't quite basically sold, or I should say I was sold on the Surface. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to make, or what I was going to use it for to a full extent, though, other than it basically would serve as a replacement tablet for my Nook, though. And then when I started working from home and doing basically the videos and everything, is that basically it gave me the opportunity to use it for basically videos and everything, though, because it's super convenient, though. It's very portable, doesn't take a lot of space, though, to make use of it, and then I can basically have it wherever I need it, though. Like when I was setting this up, I was like, well, how am I going to do this, though? And then I was like, I could basically take the keyboard, though, off, because I'm not going to really, if I need to type, I'll figure that out in the future, but at least from the standpoint of just interacting this way, though, talking and going through there, that it's just easier to be able to read the comments, though, scrolling along, though, as I'm talking, though. The only thing that I may need to come up with, especially this will be a good test, though, will be to see how my battery life holds up, though. I may have to come up with a option on that. A little diabolical edict. Black is such a fun, but also can really be it's usually one that means you like playing with some. Oh, the playmat though, I got this from Inked. And it basically, it had popped up on my Facebook though, and so when it popped up on my Facebook, I saw it though. I was like, that's a very basically nice playmat though. Inked Gaming is where I got it from. They have a couple of different variations of it though, and so I was like, that is, yeah, it's one that I really like though. So expect to see that one making or being here for most of the time. The other one that you'll see eventually here will be one that basically I've got there that I've made that will be printing or having printed and shipped though. That's available. So let's see how that goes. So looks like I'm gonna have to go over to page 2 for the diabolical edict. Yep. Okay. So now with this particular instance though, because we're now, I guess to say, we're not so much as organized though as we would be, or basically and I don't think I've got any. Oh, no, those are same there. Yeah. All right. So this is where I'm going to step off to the side for a moment. Oh, teeny talking though. Hopefully not bump the swing arm. This is where I'm going to go grab a couple of okay, what we got here. So talk among yourselves. I am over here just grabbing a couple of basically extra pages though to add in. So in case you're wondering though, the basically the pages that I've got that are holding the copies of the print list though, which I just got that. It's just regular paper sit one, or basically that you might get for like doing your college report though, or similar though, where basically you just need something to hold your title page. That's all that it is. That was just a single page though. But when I was looking for a way to make better use of storing it though, I was like, yeah, originally I was putting them in the pockets in the front of these folders, binders though, but the thing was that it wasn't, it was easily, would jump out though, of the pocket there, and it wasn't secure. Plus the other thing that it limited though is that I really could only use the folder or binder for one particular set though, which is fine when you get to as you fill in the set, and you need basically the space though, because you can't keep them all in the same binder though. But from the standpoint of basically this set though, or multiple sets where you only have a handful of each card from each set, then it works quite effectively. So, and then of course the other thing is having to check for the list here though, so I can check those off even if I don't necessarily have all the cards in order though right away. It basically gives me the chance though to do so. And in this case though, we can also easily fill in a basically an extra page here of there. Well, and then the other thing that of course with using these 9 sleeve pockets though is that of course I'll use the front and the back though for them, just like I did. So the next live stream that I do, I'll make sure that I've got the double feature binder, so to at least be able to kind of go through there. So for these here though, for the set, for this particular setup, yeah, I'm using 3-ring binders, but for the double feature though, I've got that in basically a similar binder that I showed you, that I've got the basically the my land deck in though, and I did that with the land deck because one, I had it and I was like, I really only. So the advantage of using these though is that the binder, it doesn't, basically you don't have to worry about basically matching the front to basically to keep going. Yeah, well, it's why I used to store my Magic cards in this, like these though. Baseball cards I used to have in there, and one of the things that I always made sure of was, of course, basically that was to pay close attention to the binder and the rings though. Now, I tell you what I used to really do though, and I may do that as well though, and use these for sorting purposes, but for long-term storage I might end up going ahead and getting D-ring binder though. Those had a different basically storage though. They used D-ring though, used to they didn't have some of the tendencies that just the regular ring binders have to impact a card though. So we got a escaped shapeshifter that we are looking for, and I suspect it's going to be back on the second page here. I will say the other thing. Nope, must be on the first page. Yeah, I missed it. It's right at the top there. So as you can tell though, like in certain basically sets though, I will have picked up basically some cards I will have, or like I'll have the basically filled in a particular like color though, so like black might be more filled in though, and then have a few stragglers in the next color though, and that in fact comes from basically the same approach that I've got with the that I mentioned earlier about picking them up though and pricing. And that's there, okay. So, my dad he had a few specific cards that he really was more focused on though. Those were mainly, so like, of course, any cards or anything that we gave him though, he would hold on to, but he was, his biggest thing was some of the older, basically Dodgers cards though. Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax. That was what his real interest in those cards was. And then when he got a little older, or as here, basically 2000s, and he had done it for a little bit though, off and on. But the other thing that of course he was really into was basically the coins though, silver coins though, Morgans, dollars though, some gold coins that he had as well. I've got a few Morgan silver dollars myself though. Comic books is what I was big into. He ended up getting rid of those cards though, at least as far as I'm aware of. It's possible that they might be packed in some boxes though, because for a while, before they just ended up deciding or not moving though, there was it was looking like that they were going to be moving from Kansas to either Dallas or Pittsburgh, and so they had packed up a lot of stuff, or started packing things up though for that. And then he decided to retire instead though, in part because he had established a good working basis with the local VA, and so with that though, they decided that it was more effective just to stay, and so they might be there. Hey, we got Andy joining in. I don't know about that, but there's probably the couple of the Morgans that I do have though, and some of the other coins that I've got though are probably worth a couple $100 though, I think. Of course, the longer they're held on to, the more they will eventually be worth though. I mean, an example though I've got is I've got a 1999 silver proof Silver Eagle. The 99 though is basically I think a couple $150 give or take though. It's worth more than a lot of the other ones though. Now, my comic book collection though, at face value though, or at basically book value though, not counting what someone actually would pay for it or wouldn't pay for it though, at one point though was probably worth in the 15,000 range though, 15,000. But that would be as if, of course, they would buy all the books at the book price though, which not going to happen though. Not likely to happen. But yeah, Homelands was rough though. Wasn't rough as Fallen Empires though. Fallen Empires was okay. Well, that's red's not going to help me because that's Urza's Rage, and that's not part of Homelands or Fallen Empires or Tempest. Yeah, the Apocalypse Chime. Yep. Let's see here. So, of course, the one, of course, the card that there's a couple of cards that I liked from those sets, though. Of course, my favorite card, though, was basically Jester's Cap and Jester's Mask, because they were basically funny to. They were fun to play with, though. They would you could annoy someone with them if you could get them to fire off, though. And so, which is why one of the things that you will find, let me just put that there, is that when basically I go to basically give away these decks, though, there is basically in this one though, I think, but I know in this one there is though, there is definitely a fun card in this one here though. There is a nice Jester's Mask though in there. It's not in there though, but I've got a number of there's with this blue deck, when I hand it out there, you're gonna get some fun cards to go with it. Some there's some proxies in here as well. So, and you never know, you might find, basically among the proxies, the real copy of one of those too. I probably have to go through. I know that in here, as I've included, basically one of the new from Dominaria Remastered. There's a Jester's in there, because found that I could get a hold. I got a hold of a number of them though, because the prices basically on the borderless ones, basically I got for a pretty small fraction of a price though. So I was like, this would be fun. These would be fun to include though in decks, in particular a couple of giveaway decks though. So, oh yeah, the new art though. It so what, you know, people. I love the. I mean, if you think about Jester's Cap or Jester's Masco, and now Cap was the only one that they reprinted though, but it's a fun card. It's a card that you can play, and it's not one that you would run into some issues with if you were trying to, say, play basically some of the Infinity cards though, where they might or might not be playable, let alone legal to play. So let's see here. These are Ice Age, that's Mirage. Yeah, Alliances. And now, the only reason why, so double sleeving these though, mainly for one, they stay in the basically the 9 card sleeve better. 2, it protects. It does provide a little extra protection though, and I found some ones. Now, you're mentioning about basically play though. This one here though, it's definitely seen better days. Wandering Mage though, so this will be more of a placeholder copy at this point though. When I find or get a better copy, then that would basically end up getting replaced. But for the time being, it will serve as a good placeholder though, until I can otherwise replace it. Yeah. So we got our lands there. Yeah, so Alliances, of course, the big one here is going to be, you know, Lake of the Dead. And what I probably would end up doing is, I don't know if I would actually put Lake of the Dead in here per se. I might do a proxy of it and put the proxy in and put the actual copy in a nice hard case though, one that has basically like the basically the card, my Shockwave card though, the foil one, that or the basically dual land, or when I get it though, which should be tomorrow, I think. Got a shipment coming from Rip and Ship, Lance Cawthron, and he pulled a very, very nice card though out of a Dominaria Remastered. Got a nice foil Force of Will retro border, which I do like the retro border versions though of the cards. I think that was definitely a nice touch though for the Dominaria Remastered that was providing some of the retro border cards though. Even the ones like even the more common ones though, so like, you know, basically the Sarah Angels though, and the oh yeah, it's the Jester's Cap though. Like I said, I think I used to play with at least two in my deck though, because it gave the opportunity to, so back in the day we used to play 60-card decks though, so you had to, of course, basically make sure that you allocated your card count though correctly, because 60 only gave you, a limited number. Of course, you could run basically multiple copies though. We've got to sort something out here because that is going to require. Not actually, I think. Oh, that's right. So these. Yeah. Okay. We'll put it here. So you could run, up to 4 copies of certain cards though. Or shuffling the deck though. You basically, so you pick out, you get to basically, do I probably don't well, actually, I do. I just gotta find it here. I'm pretty sure I've got basically boxes over here that have my artifacts. Yeah, the only real question is whether I can find the actual card here. Because while I got several copies though, I've also put several copies in to various decks though. But with what I recall though, and obviously I have to read it again though, but you basically picked out cards though out of the deck, and then, or out of their, out of the deck though, then you shuffle the deck after you've removed the cards though. So if someone had basically if you knew that, and this was of course the reason why Jesters was a good option though, is that if you were playing against someone who might have basically a Black Lotus or a Mox though in that deck, and you could get your Jesters to fire off before they used it or dug it out, then at that point though you would have the ability to basically eliminate that particular card though, along with whatever else you might be able to remove from their deck though. So it was, in some instances, or in one way, it was kind of a race against time when you were basically playing against someone who had one or had basically something in there though. So you were trying to basically get that card though before they could make use of what was in their deck, and at the same time still playing the long game as well though, which is why of course then the other thing that was useful would be to have Millstone as well, and then Howling Mines though to go along with it. I am going to probably say that while I know I've got plenty of copies around though, I'm going to probably say that I'm not going to find a particular, or find the copies there without going through. Now I suppose I could have, and maybe I should have, I didn't think about that, I should have just gone through the blue deck over there, because I think that I put one in there. So yeah, okay. Now anyway, the ideal basically, oh, speak, and I was just about ready to say that, come back to it, but I actually happened to just find the copy, or one of the copies anyway, that basically that I've got. So now I will pull that aside here, and I am going to go ahead and put these other cards back so that they don't get lost or spilled, because I do not want to play 52 card pickup or 102 card pickup, as the case may be, because I've done that before. That's not fun. So basically, it's a 4-drop though, so you got to get. It's not cheap to get out though, but if you can basically get it out, sneak it out, or get the mana, then get it out. Then you gotta use 2 more. You sacrifice the cap, search the target player's library for 3 cards, exile them. Then that player shuffles their remaining deck, because you know what's in their deck at that point though. You have basically had the chance to pilfer through their deck when you remove their cards though, those 3 cards. So that's why you're going to shuffle that's why the target player's going to reshuffle their deck, is so that way they basically, yeah, because you've gone through and basically pulled out 3 of their, basically 3 cards that you basically have wanted to get out of their deck though. Now, and at that point, if you've got a good memory, you know what at least the top few cards are that are sitting there in their hand, or in their deck, I should say, to come up though. So that's why at that point it at least says, you know, for the player then to shuffle their deck. Otherwise, if you scratch that bottom line out though about the shuffling afterwards though, this becomes a banned card. Because then, not only do you get to remove 3 cards, but now you have their lineup though. It's kind of like having the playbook of the opposing team though, at least, even if you have part of it though. Well, so you're exiling those cards though. Reanimate. Oh, okay. So I guess it depends on what they have in the way of reanimate though. But if it's reanimating creatures though, then unless you're getting rid of something in their creature side. Yeah, I mean it exiles them, so they're not getting those back though. At least not easily. I think I might be wrong though, but there might be isn't there, or, and I could be wrong though, but I thought at one point there was a basically, or at least shapeshifter or copy, that you could copy the card as long as it was still around, even if it was in exile though. But other than that though, like I said, I mean, you get rid of those cards though. Now it's the reason why they got to shuffle though. But like I said, if it didn't allow them to shuffle though, afterwards after you've scanned their card deck, now you've got, you know what's basically coming up there. So that's why I said that if there was no shuffle part, then at some point though, that would have been a banned card. Oh yeah. So the cap So that's why, like I said, I would, when I was playing with it, I usually play with 2 copies though, because that way I had twice the chance, but I only was using up 2 slots though, and if I could fire off both of them, that's 6 cards that I could eliminate. But you're right though, in basically in a 60 card format though, you still had to be very selective though, so you had to look at basically any cards that were already restricted there. So while someone could play with a mox of any color, or 1 Black Lotus though, dual land, original dual land, those would be the target though. Yeah, if they had 4 Singer Vampires, yeah, you're not getting rid of those vampires though, unless it's the last one they've got. You're targeting basically single useful cards though in a 60 card deck. In Commander, yeah, when basically you're limited to a single copy of basically the card though, then yeah, it definitely would be a bigger deal. Again, I still would say that even in Commander style, you're still going to want to go for the most effective card that you can eliminate though in those 3 options, because it's going to have to, if they've got basically, they got a bunch of different cards to do counter spells, and they just don't happen to have the counter spell in their hand right at the moment though. Great for you, but it still means that they're going to basically, they still have those counter spells, so you could eliminate one, but that may not, it's not really necessarily going to be that helpful. Whereas if you can go ahead and get rid of basically a more effective card though, then that would be the choice. Only problem, and I've run into this before, and that is when you get to do it, basically it is then deciding which card to use it on, or I should say which 3 cards though, because at that point though, now you got to go through their deck though, and you got to figure out which basically is going to be the most effective option at that point to get rid of though. Usually there's not, unless you're playing a timed event though, you usually will have the opportunity and the time that you need to be able to choose the card that you're going to go ahead and basically at that point remove though. Speaking of which though, what time is it? Because I am not paying attention. Oh, wow. Didn't realize that it was almost 11 p.m. Hey, thanks for stopping by, MTG Hubully. I appreciate it. Anyone and everyone who stopped by, hung out though, and watched though, chatted a little though. Basically, you put some cards in here and talked a little, basically old school Magic though in the process. And we are basically going to, I think that's going to be it for basically this particular book and page says. So I think we're going to call it basically a wrap at this point though. I have got to, of course, work though. I have a nice hour-long drive these days since I'm back in the office, and so basically it's going to be time for me to call it, and I will probably be doing this at least I don't know about every Sunday, but definitely try doing it on a couple of Sundays though, and hang out though and chat a little, and basically go over some cards though, and we'll see what happens next. Looks like I'm gonna need to charge a battery though for my side light. Guys, thanks for stopping by though. You have a great evening. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. And yep.